Hello. So we had a very excellent question a while ago, and it took me this long to make this video. So thank you for your patience. But I did have to sit on the question for a minute and think about what it was, and then it hit me. So this is the question or the issue. Um, what to do when they say you are overqualified? So this happens, I feel like, really disproportionately often to us as women of color, as non-binary people of color, and also as we get more experience and get older. So there's that intersection, I think, too, of ageism that plays in. So yay. But yes, as you kind of rise up in your leadership, as you gain more experience and expertise, you are probably bound at some point to experience this, like, and unfortunately, you're overqualified type thing. So I have a sort of two suggestions for what to do if and when this happens. The first is to think about, well, what are they really saying here? Okay, so this is kind of the bigger. Hold on, let me try to not block the screen as much. All right, fully failing at this. Okay, so oh my god, the lighting is all right. That works a little better. Okay, so what are they really saying? What do you think that they're implying here? Digging underneath the surface words of this bullshit excuse, which is that you're overqualified. And here we may have to encounter some unpleasant truth, which is that a lot of times it's like, oh, well, they think that they're going to have to pay you a lot more than the budget, the range is for this particular role. Or it might be that they really anticipate, like they kind of fluffed up the job description or something, and they actually anticipate giving this person a lot more what would be like grunt work or basic work, and they think that after having talked to you or looking at your background that you wouldn't want to be doing stuff that is considered maybe more low level or administrative tasks. Whatever the case may be of what your gut is telling you, like what they're really trying to communicate non-verbally and under this guise of this excuse if you're overqualified, usually the idea is that they I don't know how to put this so directly, but like basically you weren't who they imagined that they would want for this role. And so that sucks. It's painful. We have to kind of grapple with that and come to terms with it and heal our feelings around it and process it in a compassionate way. However, if the bottom line is that you're getting the spidey sense from them that they don't want you for this particular role, then, you know, for like the way I would look at it is like, well, their loss. People are entitled to make the wrong decision. In fact, they do make the wrong decision every single day of every single week. And so that's their bad. And for me, I'm like, I'm not going to internalize that shit. Like, if they're going to do that, fine. I'm going to like immediately cut energy off from them and focus on the people that do want me, that don't think that I'm overqualified or underqualified, but that I'm perfectly qualified for whatever it is that they're looking for. I know it's easier said than done. And also it's like why we do all of the stuff that we're doing here, right? Like this is why we have the leadership accelerator, why we have the leadership network, why we have these safe spaces where we can support each other and be like, that's bullshit and you don't have to accept it. Um, so that's the first part of the first strategy of like, what are they really saying? Digging underneath the surface words. And to come at it from a slightly different angle, I already previewed this a little, but what is this telling you? The fact that they're being like, you're overqualified. What is this telling you about them? What is this telling you about what's important to them, what they're looking for, who they're looking for? And then what do you want to do with that? But to me, I feel like it's all kind of like part of this thought process. A way to shortcut it, frankly, is to just be like, all right, well, if that's what they're saying, then they're really missing what is here. And I'm therefore going to look elsewhere. So this is like the mindset, kind of the harder part of it. And I did kind of start with the harder part of it first in a weird way, because I don't know, just intuitively, I felt that was important to be said first. Secondly, though, if you are like tactically trying to be like, well, but Cynthia, what do I actually do in the conversation itself? Okay, if this is happening in the real time moment of this happening, I would recommend mirroring, which is a negotiation strategy. And the idea of mirroring is that you repeat the 1 to 5 operative words that they just said to you in a neutral or slightly questioned tone. So if and when they say to you, oh, we think you're overqualified for this role, literally all you do in response is say, overqualified? Maybe you don't uptalk it as much to have the question tone. Maybe you stay a little more flat. Like, it sort of depends in the vibe of that moment and the energy that you want to put out and how you respond. But the idea is you literally, all you do is repeat the word overqualified, then remain silent, let the silence feel awkward for them, and then they will say more about it, and then you kind of can like continue to have a conversation and dig further. And that's a way of literally doing the like digging underneath the surface words thing. um Although you can also kind of just react however you're going to react in that moment, and the conversation however you're going to end it, and then think about it and dig into these questions more after that. But these are my two ways to kind of answer this question of like what to do when they tell you that you're overqualified. But the bottom line is, again, people make the wrong decision all the time. It is their prerogative to make the wrong choice. And for us, our responsibility is to figure out what we want to do based on that information. All right. Hope this was helpful. Bye.